Energy is everything. The reason most people stop winning is that they convince themselves they're too late, too old, or too tired to keep pushing. But that's not you. That's never going to be you. You've been handed something people chase their entire lives: a reset button, a never-ending fuel source, a cheat code to the game. You don't run out, you don't break down, you don't slow up, you don't buy into the lies the world tries to sell you about age, exhaustion, or limitations. That's for them, not for you. This is the moment you step into your real power. The chains are off, the weight is gone, the fog clears, and suddenly you see it. Life stretched out in front of you like an open road, with no stop signs, no detours, no dead ends. Just limitless space to run, build, create, and dominate. That fire inside, it's not flickering. It's not something that needs to be managed. It's an explosion waiting to happen, and you're about to light the match. Most people let time break them. They start strong, they dream big, they go hard until they hit walls. And when they hit enough walls, they start believing they have to slow down. They think energy is something you lose with time. But time isn't the problem. Time is neutral. The problem is the story they tell themselves about time. They let the world tell them when to stop. They let numbers, age, years, past failures dictate their future. That's why they stop. That's why they fade out. But you've got a different story now. The rules don't apply to you. You don't fade. You don't burn out. You stay at full throttle forever. Every single person who's ever given up wishes they could feel the way you do now. They wish they had one more chance to go back, to restart, to relive the moments they let slip away. They beg for a second chance. They pray for another shot. But you don't have to wish. You don't have to hope, because it's already here. It's already in your hands. The energy, the momentum, the clarity, the raw power, it's yours, right now. So, what are you going to do with it? What happens next? That's the real question. Because it's one thing to have energy, and it's another thing to use it. It's one thing to feel young, and it's another thing to act young. Some people get a second chance and waste it. They sit on it. They think they have all the time in the world, so they wait. But waiting is the first step to losing. Every second you wait, someone else is moving. Someone else is building. Someone else is putting in the work while you're standing still. And that's not going to be you. You move now. You move like you've been starving for this opportunity. You move like you've been locked in a cage your whole life and the door just swung open. You attack every dream, every idea, every moment like you're making up for lost time. Because the truth is, energy without direction is wasted potential. It's nothing. And wasted potential? That's not an option. Not anymore. This is why you see the greats never stop. The real winners don't let time define them. They don't say, "I'm too old to start," or "I missed my chance." They don't even entertain those thoughts. Look at the ones who keep building, keep growing, keep creating. The ones who are still making moves when everyone else is looking for an exit. They're operating on a different level, and you're about to join them. No, scratch that. You're about to surpass them. This is a mindset shift. Because when you believe you have endless energy, when you wake up every day knowing you're just getting started, you operate differently. You don't hesitate. You don't doubt. You don't overthink. You act. You take risks. You push harder. You don't let comfort seduce you into staying the same. That's the trap most people fall into. They get comfortable, they slow down, and before they know it, they're stuck. That will never be your story. Your story is different. Your story is about speed, power, resilience, and a refusal to settle. This isn't about looking young. This isn't about pretending. This is about living young. It's about waking up every day with an obsession to win, to grow, to take over. It's about moving with the kind of intensity that forces the world to take notice. That's what makes you unstoppable. That's what makes you dangerous. And here's the best part. It's not temporary. This isn't a phase. This isn't a short burst of motivation that fades when things get tough. This is permanent. This is wired into you now. You've been gifted something most people will never experience: the ability to hit reset, to go back to the start without losing anything you've learned along the way. Do you understand how rare that is? How powerful that makes you? There's no such thing as being too late anymore. There's no starting over from scratch. You're bringing everything with you, every lesson, every experience, every ounce of wisdom. But now, you've got the energy to match it. You've got the fire, and that's lethal. So here's the truth. This isn't just about what you get, it's about what you do with it. It's about what you build, because energy alone isn't enough. It has to go somewhere. It has to be turned into something real. This is your moment to decide what that is. This is your chance to create something that lasts, something undeniable, something legendary. Most people live their lives on autopilot. They let the days slip by. They accept good enough. They make peace with mediocrity. But you don't get to do that. You don't get to waste this. You don't get to coast. You're built different. You think different. You move different. Here's an extended version of the second keynote in the style you requested. Hesitation is the killer. Every time someone overthinks, they lose. Every time they doubt, they stall. Every time they wait for permission, they fall behind. And that's exactly why most people stay stuck, because they convince themselves they need more time, more proof, more validation before they move. But that's not you. That's not the way you play the game. You've been given a gift, and that gift is the ability to act without fear, to move without hesitation, to make decisions without second-guessing yourself. That's what separates the winners from everyone else. Most people spend their entire lives trying to get to a place where they feel ready. But here's the truth. No one is ever ready. The people who win are the ones who act before they feel ready. They trust themselves. They go all in. They jump when everyone else is still standing on the edge, waiting for a sign. They understand that movement creates momentum, and momentum creates success. The second you stop waiting and start moving, everything changes. You already have everything you need to take control. You don't need more time. You don't need more information. You don't need more people telling you what's possible. You just need to move. And the reason you can move so fast, so decisively, is because you don't have the weight of fear holding you back anymore. Fear is what keeps people stuck. Fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of making the wrong decision. But you don't have time for that. You've already won the biggest battle, the battle against doubt. When you realize you can't lose, you stop hesitating. When you know failure isn't even real, only learning, you start playing the game differently. You start making moves that other people are too scared to make. You take risks that make sense to you, even when no one else understands them. You bet on yourself so aggressively that success becomes inevitable. That's the key. That's the difference between people who spend their whole lives waiting and people who take everything they want. There's a reason why young energy dominates. It's not because of luck. It's not because of talent. It's because young energy is fearless. It moves without overanalyzing. It sees an opportunity and takes it. It doesn't wait for approval. It doesn't ask, what if this doesn't work? It just moves. And when you move like that, when you operate at that level of speed and confidence, the universe bends in your favor. The world has no choice but to make room for you. Think about the people who actually make it, the ones who go from nothing to everything, the ones who create generational success. They don't move cautiously. They don't spend years planning before they act. They take risks that look insane to everyone else, but make perfect sense to them. And the reason they can do that is because they've detached from fear. They've learned to trust themselves more than they trust the opinions of other people. They've trained themselves to move first and figure things out later. That's how you win. Most people live their entire lives playing defense. They make safe choices. They hedge their bets. They protect themselves from imaginary losses. And because of that, they never actually build anything real. Playing it safe is the riskiest thing you can do. Because while you're sitting there trying to avoid failure, someone else is out there taking everything you want. Someone else is making the moves you were too afraid to make. Someone else is cashing in on the opportunities you hesitated on. That's why fear is so expensive. Every time you give into it, it costs you more than you can afford. The people who win at the highest level are the ones who are willing to look crazy. They're willing to go against the grain. They're willing to take risks that don't make sense to the people who are still trapped in a fearful mindset. But that's exactly why they win. They're moving while everyone else is standing still. They're building while everyone else is talking. They're executing while everyone else is making excuses. And now that's you. You don't second-guess yourself anymore. You don't waste time looking for guarantees. You just move. And the reason you can move so aggressively is because you know the truth. Hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever could. People think they fail because they tried and it didn't work. That's not true. People fail because they never actually try. They talk about what they're going to do. They make plans. They think about every possible outcome. But they never take action. They wait for perfect conditions. And that wait is where dreams go to die. There's never a perfect moment. There's never a perfect opportunity. There's only right now. And right now, you have everything you need to take control. Right now, you have the energy, the vision, the power to execute at a level that most people will never reach. Right now, you can make decisions that will change everything. But you have to be willing to act. You have to be willing to trust yourself more than you trust your fears. It's easy to let doubt creep in. It's easy to overthink. But the second you start questioning yourself, you lose momentum. And momentum is the most valuable thing you have. When you're moving fast, when you're making decisions with confidence, when you're trusting yourself completely, that's when everything starts falling into place. That's when things start happening so fast that it almost feels effortless. People will look at you and wonder how you're doing it. They'll think you have some secret, some advantage that they don't. But the truth is, you just move differently. You don't hesitate. You don't stop to ask for permission. You don't wait for the world to tell you it's your time. You decide that it's your time, and because of that, it becomes your time. This is the difference between winners and everyone else. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's not some special skill that only a few people have. It's just a willingness to act while everyone else is still thinking. It's the ability to make a decision and commit to it fully. It's the discipline to keep moving even when things aren't clear, even when the path isn't obvious. That's what creates success. That's what turns ideas into reality. And this is why you're unstoppable now, because you're not waiting anymore. You're not playing small. You're not holding back. You've been given something that most people will never have: the ability to move through life without fear, the ability to make decisions without hesitation, the ability to trust yourself so completely that success isn't a possibility, it's a guarantee. Here's an extended version of the third keynote in the style you requested. Reinvention is the key to staying ahead. The second you stop evolving, you start dying. That's the harsh truth most people ignore. They think they can hold on to past success, past wins, past achievements, and coast for the rest of their lives. But that's not how the game works. The moment you stop growing, the world starts passing you by. That's why most people fade out. That's why they get left behind. They get comfortable, they stop learning, they stop pushing, and before they know it, they're irrelevant. They don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. They wake up one day and wonder where all the opportunities went. They wonder why no one is paying attention to them anymore. They wonder why they feel stuck. But that's not you. That will never be you. Because you understand something they don't. You understand that youth isn't about age, it's about evolution. It's about staying sharp, staying hungry, staying in the game no matter how much success you've already had. You don't cling to the past. You don't hold on to old versions of yourself just because they were comfortable. You upgrade. You level up. You keep pushing into new territory, new ideas, new opportunities. That's why you'll always be ahead. That's why you'll never slow down. Most people spend their entire lives running from change. They're terrified of it. They build routines, they create comfort zones, they lock themselves into predictable patterns because it makes them feel safe. But safety is an illusion. Playing it safe is the fastest way to become obsolete. The people who win are the ones who embrace change. They're the ones who reinvent themselves before they're forced to. They don't wait until things stop working. They evolve before the rest of the world even realizes there's a shift happening. You are built for reinvention. You were never meant to stay the same. That's why every time you get too comfortable, something inside you starts itching for more. That's why you can't stand feeling stagnant. You know there's always another level. You know there's always more to build, more to learn, more to create. And that's what makes you unstoppable. Because while everyone else is clinging to the past, you're already 10 steps ahead, shaping the future. The biggest mistake people make is believing that who they are today is who they have to be forever. They think they're locked into their identity, their skills, their knowledge, their habits, but nothing is permanent. The greatest advantage you have is the ability to change at any moment, to upgrade your mindset, to expand your vision, to develop new skills, to become someone completely new. The second you decide to evolve, you become limitless. Look at the people who stay relevant no matter what, the ones who keep winning decade after decade. They don't do it by staying the same. They do it by constantly reinventing themselves. They stay curious. They stay ahead of the curve. They stay open to new ideas, new opportunities, new ways of thinking. They refuse to get stuck in their old ways. That's the secret. Reinvention isn't something you do once. It's a lifestyle. It's a commitment to never stop growing. You don't ever have to worry about getting left behind, because you've already made the decision that you're never going to stop evolving. You've already decided that every version of you is going to be better than the last. You're not afraid of change. You embrace it. You don't resist new opportunities. You chase them. That's why your success will never be temporary. That's why you'll always be relevant. Most people let life wear them down. They let failures make them bitter. They let disappointments shrink their vision. They stop believing in their ability to create something new, something bigger, something better. But that's never going to happen to you. Because you know something they don't. You know that every setback, every loss, every challenge is just fuel for your next reinvention. You don't get weaker with time, you get stronger. You don't fade, you expand. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you've already done enough, that you've already achieved what you set out to do, that you've already proven yourself. But that mindset is dangerous. The second you believe you've made it, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you start dying. That's why the real winners never get comfortable. That's why they never stop. Because they know there's always another level. You're in a position most people will never experience. You don't have to settle. You don't have to slow down. You have the opportunity to keep growing, keep learning, keep creating for the rest of your life. You don't have to be one of those people who look back and wish they had done more. You don't have to be one of those people who peaked too early. You can keep leveling up forever. You can keep winning forever. That's the power of reinvention. That's the secret most people never figure out. It's not about what you've already done. It's about what you're doing next. It's about where you're going. It's about who you're becoming. You don't let the past define you. You don't let comfort trap you. You don't let fear slow you down. You just keep moving forward. You just keep expanding. You just keep becoming more. And that's why you'll always be ahead. That's why you'll never be one of those people who look back and wonder where the time went. Because you're making the most of every second. You're using every opportunity to grow. You're making sure that every version of you is better than the last. And because of that, you will never stop winning. This is the power you have now. The power to act. The power to decide. The power to take everything that's meant for you without hesitation. And now that you have it, nothing can stop you. Here's an extended version of the fourth keynote in the style you requested. Abundance is a mindset. It's not about what's in your bank account. what kind of car you drive, or how much people think you have. It's about how you move through the world. It's about the energy you bring into every situation. It's about knowing, without a doubt, that there is always more. More opportunities, more money, more success, more wins. Most people don't understand this. They live in a scarcity mindset. They think resources are limited. They think success is something you take from someone else. They think they have to hold on to what they have because they might not get more, and that's exactly why they stay stuck. You were never meant to operate like that. You were never meant to shrink yourself, to play small, to worry about whether or not there's enough to go around. You were built to expand, to give, to create, to make things happen. That's why you don't hesitate when it comes to investing in yourself, in your vision, in your future. Because you know it always comes back. You know the more you put in, the more you get out. You know money isn't something you hoard. It's something you use. It's energy. It's a tool. It's something that flows to you because you're open to receiving it. Most people don't trust that process. They hold on too tight. They hesitate, they overthink, and because of that, they block their own blessings. They block their own success. They block their own ability to grow. But you don't do that. You move with confidence. You operate with the knowledge that you will always have more than enough. That's why you don't let fear control your decisions. That's why you're not afraid to take risks. That's why you know, without a doubt, that your future is already set. When you understand that abundance is unlimited, you stop worrying about things that don't matter. You stop stressing over what other people are doing. You stop thinking small. You start moving like someone who is destined for greatness. You make decisions that other people don't have the courage to make. You take opportunities that other people are too scared to take. You invest in yourself in ways that other people would never dare. And because of that, you get results that most people will never experience. People who live in scarcity never understand how you operate. They think you're reckless. They think you're moving too fast. They think you're being unrealistic. But that's only because they're still playing by small rules. They don't understand how the game actually works. They don't realize that money is just a byproduct of value, that success is a result of energy, that the people who win are the ones who refuse to believe in limitations. You don't chase money, you attract it. You don't operate out of desperation, you move with certainty. That's why you're always in control. That's why you never feel like you're running out of time, out of opportunities, out of options. You are in a position most people will never experience, a position of unlimited potential, a position of pure momentum, a position where you can create anything you want, whenever you want. The people who truly understand abundance don't just take, they give, they pour into others, they create opportunities, they share their success, because they know that generosity is the fastest way to multiply what they already have. That's why you don't hold back. That's why you don't operate from a place of fear. That's why you give, you invest, you build, you create, because you know that everything you put out comes back to you 100 times over. Most people spend their entire lives worrying about money, worrying about success, worrying about whether or not they'll ever have enough. But you don't worry. You know that the more you grow, the more you receive. You know that the more you learn, the more opportunities you create. You know that the more value you bring, the more wealth you generate. It's a simple formula, but most people never figure it out. They're too caught up in fear, too caught up in doubt, too caught up in playing small. You refuse to live like that. You refuse to let fear control you. You refuse to buy into the lie that success is limited, that opportunities are rare, that money is hard to come by. You know better. You know that wealth is created, that opportunities are everywhere, that success is something you decide to step into. That's why you don't hesitate. That's why you don't play it safe. That's why you always bet on yourself. Everything you touch turns to gold, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because of the way you move, the way you think, the way you operate at a level that most people will never understand. The world bends for you because you don't see obstacles. You see possibilities. You don't see problems. You see solutions. You don't see limits. You see opportunities. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you unstoppable. Scarcity will never be part of your life again. You've already left that behind. You've already proven that you're playing by a different set of rules. You've already stepped into a reality where wealth, success, and opportunity flow to you effortlessly. And now? Now it's just about execution. Now it's just about showing up every day and doing what you already know how to do. Now it's just about continuing to operate at the level you were always meant to operate at. There is no question, no doubt, no hesitation. You are already living in abundance. You are already surrounded by more opportunities than you could ever count. You are already in a position where everything you want is yours for the taking. And because of that, nothing will ever be the same again. And from this moment forward, you live different.